What if the Continental Hotel from John Wick was dirty and mostly unoccupied, but the few visitors it did have came straight out of Twin Peaks? Well, you'd have the Netflix film Dark Forces. It's like a telenovela, except without any fun. A man arrives at a sketchy hotel in search of his sister. While there, he encounters romance with a stranger. Before I continue with my review of this stellar thriller, I wanted to share a review of a new munchie that I found. And I have never tried it, so I'm going to try it right here with you. It is a limited edition KitKat apple pie flavored. And let me see if I can get that in focus there. You see that there? Kind of in focus, yes. Okay. Well, so this, let's just try this out. I did open it previously just for ease. But you can see it's white. I don't know if that's white chocolate or what that is, but let's just give this a try here. I don't taste apple pie. I taste plastic. Now some almonds. It's a little odd. And you know those wafer crackers that you can get, not wafer crackers, those wafer cookies, they come in like pink, whitish, or creamish, or yellowish color, I don't know, and like a brown. That's what this tastes like, and it's melting on my hands. And this, just not very good. I don't think I would recommend picking up the apple pie flavored KitKat. Now, if you're a huge KitKat fan, maybe you'll like it, maybe you'll want to try it. I was just in the grocery store, in the checkout aisle, and there it was right next to the register. So this was totally an impulse buy. And I thought, well, you know what? I do this, so I'll share it with you in case you want to. Me, I'm never going to buy this again. I don't like it. I don't think it tastes good. And I think there's so many other things that I could be wasting calories on and putting into my body that is unhealthy for me that actually taste good. All right, back to the review. It kind of works if you think about this movie a little bit as a Western. Our hero Franco rides into town and arrives at kind of a dirtyish, seedy hotel, and that's where he holes up. He then meets a woman inside the saloon and she tries to romance him. Our hero Franco, he is wearing a long duster jacket. I mean, that's what he wears in this movie, and he carries a big knife. And so it kind of works as a Western in that way, but the pace is slow like a Western. Except in Westerns, the pace being slow, it has a payoff. It really builds to something that is worthwhile. In this, no. I wanted to read to you the actual synopsis or the storyline that I found on IMDb about this movie, because I think it kind of just encapsulates the entire movie. It's, in search of his sister, a renegade criminal seeks answers at a sordid hotel where he encounters a sinister guest and romances a mysterious waitress. Yep. There you go. There are so many things in this movie that just don't make sense. I mean, we have scene changes and character interactions that have zero context. There's no character development on anything. We get 2 flashbacks, I believe it's 2, of Franco and his sister. I guess that's just to try and show us that, yes, he does have somebody, but we're not really given the sense that he's looking for his sister. We just know that he's kind of searching for somebody. Then at the hotel, there's this bald-headed old creepy dude who looks like he came straight out of Phantasm, and he gives Franco a task to do. At least we assume he does, because they have this weird interaction and this weird dialogue, but he's not expressly telling him, hey, go do this. But then Franco, immediately after that, goes and robs a restaurant. Why? Well, at this point, why not? There's so much random imagery that is going on inside this film, and some of it hints at something that's supernatural. I mean, there's an odd collection of characters and just weirdos and weird interactions and conversations. But then there also are some things that make you think that, well, you know what, this is going towards the paranormal. But a lot of the time, too, we can't tell, is this just a figment of imagination or is it part of a dream? Because Franco sleeps a lot. I mean, I guess that's just basically what his job is, to sleep in this movie, because he just wakes up in his underwear on top of the bed, you know, kind of squirming or sweating or screaming, and it's just, okay. And then they incorporate some special effects and some graphics in this that are wildly unconvincing, and they're just terrible to look at. Most of the time they are computer generated and they are obvious that they are such. And then they just are interspersed with everything else that's so random in this film, where you think that, okay, I believe we're going down this path. But every time I think we're going this way, I get a curveball that doesn't make any sense and then leads us down a different path, and then we kind of meander back, and it's just very odd. Now, Netflix has this listed as a series. It's an hour and 21 minutes long, so it could be the first episode in a series, but then it's also kind of considered a film, and there's zero indication of when another episode would drop, and even when it ends, I don't get the sense that this is part of a cliffhanger, that this is going to be a second part of this. So I'm very confused in that. And maybe Netflix is just confused too, because they're like, well, we watched this thing, we have this, we released it under our banner, and we don't know what it is either. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a series, I don't know, we'll let you guess. The acting is very stoic in this. The characters are wildly uninteresting. And even the motivations of Franco, our hero, we have to guess at. I mean, we finally find out towards the end-ish that he is actually searching for his sister. But at that point, I've lost so much interest that I just don't care. This tries to be mysterious, dark, ominous, and maybe even terrifying. But it's laughable at how terrible it actually is. And sometimes they give us some horrific imagery, but it doesn't make us scared. It doesn't create tension. It doesn't create any type of trepidation of like, oh my gosh, what am I watching? Like, oh no, don't go in there, or I fear for the characters' lives. No, it's, oh, please, why am I spending my time watching this? Make it go away. Even the action scenes, and I use action very loosely, they are awkward. The choreography is terrible, and half the time they slow everything down, or maybe it's just the actors fighting in kind of a slower motion so that they don't accidentally hit each other. And that's what it looks like, that they are trying to miss each other. And you just see, oh my gosh, it's so bad. I mean, I've seen high school fights where you just push each other a lot and, you know, nothing really happens, that are way more convincing. And then they couple these fight scenes with terrible music. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you could make the fight scene any worse, and yet they have. And for some reason, they throw in some random sex scenes, just there. And so maybe that's to try and keep the audience engaged or interested, or their curiosity piqued at what might come next. I don't know, it didn't make any sense, and it wasn't intriguing or engaging. If you are looking for random without quality, then this is the one for you. As I was collecting my thoughts and writing them all down, I was trying to find something positive to say about this movie. And I think the most positive thing I can say about it is that it's only 81 minutes long. So if you do choose to put yourself through the torture of watching it, know that it will end quickly. About 12 minutes in, my family is begging to turn it off. They're like, why are we watching this? And I'm like, hey, I watch this crap so you don't have to. Well, that's my line to you. But to them, they were like, no, we're stuck here watching this crap. Please make it stop. So is this a thriller, a mystery, an action, maybe a horror? It is mysteriously horrifying how a film lacking action and thrills can get made. So yes, I guess it kind of is. Please don't waste your time on this piece of garbage. There is sex, nudity, some profanity, a lot of violence, and some gory imagery. I give Dark Forces 0 out of 5 couches. It is that bad, and it is not worth your time. And if this does end up being part of a series, please, no, just don't. Ugh. So what are you watching right now? Anything's got to be better than this. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.